Welcome back, crawlers, to our Dungeon Carl crawl. Blah, blah, blah. Wow, already fucked that up. 2 seconds into it. Welcome back, crawlers, to Don't Gaslight Me Jesus, a Dungeon Crawler Carl read along podcast. I am Mike, and join me today is.
Data?
Tim.
And Jennifer.
And we have read through chapters 8 through 11. All right, get out your decoder rings, everybody. Let's dig into this. I can't remember the song.
That's it. That's it entirely.
So yeah, we did 4 chapters this time, and seemed to have more or less wrapped up this quest that you guys were theorizing might go the rest of the book. So, what did you guys think of these 4 chapters?
I enjoyed these chapters. I was actually surprised and delighted and disappointed at the same time by being so wrong about how all of this was going to go. I guess I was disappointed not because I was wrong. I was disappointed because of how quick this particular situation, like this particular quest, was dealt with. I was kind of half expecting there to be a little bit more here. The thing that I actually really enjoyed about it, though, was that that was kind of the point here. The book zagged instead of zigging, and what Mark Drickman was trying to do here when he was writing this is that he was like, oh yeah, you thought this was going to be another big showstopper set piece action sequence like I've done a million times before where there's going to be explosions and other things. No, that's not what we're doing. What we're doing here is that Carl is going to now turn his angst into a superpower, which he's been kind of playing with pretty much all up until this point, because a lot of his angst has always just been a fuel to the fire that is Carl's rage at the system that he's stuck in. And now he's using what he knows about TV shows and writing and storylines, everything that he knows, and then what he knows about catharsis and character angst, and he's using that as a weapon. He is fighting the storyline by rewriting the story that he's in. Even at one point, kind of breaking the fourth wall. Because at one point he addresses the reader directly and even says, but you don't want to know about this. And I was just like, wait, he's talking to us. Oh.
Yeah, that really stands out for me because we haven't seen that before. And I was like, wait, what?
Because the story was already getting meta and metatextual with the fact that he knows that he's in a story that's being written by somebody else. And he is now negotiating his place in that story. His fourth wall break feels like him taking a bunch of agency back. That this is his angst is becoming his new superpower, because he's like, look, if you people are looking for catharsis, I'll give you some fucking catharsis. And even then, the storyline that he sells, he himself even like undermines and what's the phrase, subverts expectations. So this whole bit that felt like the writer was setting up as this big show-stopping piece, he was subverting expectations, and then he put it into Carl to also subvert expectations. I thought that was actually kind of half brilliant in how he did that. And the other thing is that the one thing that I did predict was Mordecai's fucking plant knowledge did get a reference, because he was just like, wasn't Mordecai talking about these vines before? And I'm just like, son of a bitch, I called it. we're gonna go back. And he's like, oh yeah, I know all about these fucking things. And I'm like, I knew it. I knew it when they were ignoring him talking about plants. I'm like, the very next thing we're gonna do is gonna be fucking plant based, and there fucking was. So that made me laugh. But no, I enjoyed these chapters. They surprised me. I was both happy and a little disappointed to be wrong.
I have to say it was impressive when you made that call that you're like you'd identified previously this pattern where it's like we'll not see a conversation and then later it'll be like, hey, remember that conversation? It had this important information, and then you saw it, you're like, this is that conversation that they're going to be like, hey, we learned something important here that we're going to refer back to. So that was a good shot that you made for sure.
I enjoyed it. It was a good batch of chapters. I was never like hot take. I was never a huge fan of Princess Donut until she wasn't here, and then I was like, this actually does lose a lot of sauce without
The
Donut.
punch. Yeah.
So yeah, she was missed really well. I liked that, and the little tease at the end of like, is she okay? Which, I mean, spoiler, she's okay. I don't know anything about this story, and I know she's okay.
She dies in book 2 halfway through. Yeah,
it's crazy. He has to get a separate new talking cat. Princess Donut
looks like-
too.
She's just wearing a cowboy hat. It's like, she told me all about you guys.
It's just the Simpsons Snowball all
yeah,
over
it's
again.
just Snowball. That's
Snowball
exactly
too.
what I thought of. Yeah.
So I enjoyed it. I like the action. The fight with the bear was really, really good. I enjoyed that to the point that I was really excited for the fight in the Big Top, and then there wasn't one. I was like, that's probably good because it was probably not going to be able to fit before like chapter 12, and I would have to be like, they didn't get to have the big fight. So yeah. Instead, they like empathy and shit.
Some bullshit like that, you know.
Pathos, whatever. So, which, if we're gonna get meta and funny, for him to play with like writers and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna give you this path here for pathos, and like I put this aside in love and fam." Of course, all those writers were like, "Oh my god, this is gonna win us so many awards." They took that hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, it's funny because we get like one very brief statement from them, and otherwise we're just kind of communicated through Zev. It's like they're agreeing, they're not agreeing, whatever. So I don't want to see more about this writer's room, even though it has nothing to do with everything else.
I want to get out of Carl's head so goddamn much.
Same. I a POV character that I've been wanting since the beginning has been Princess Donut.
Because yeah, it was good, especially for the first book when things went weird. What? Yeah, but I'm like, dude, as this goes on, let's get the fuck out of this guy's head. I want a little bit more omniscience from my from my narrative right now.
If a series goes 2 books in the first person and then switches to like third person omniscient, I feel like there would be some serious backlash.
There would be huge backlash. People would be upset, and I would be the one going, "It's for the best."
You're like, and those people would be wrong. So
They just don't know what they're talking about, obviously.
I would be like, look, if we were really that worried about what the audience would think, we would just kill Carl then, and then we go third person omniscience. Just there you go. Now you can find out what's happening on this spaceship and over here at this part of the world, and now we're back in the dungeon. It's the shit that I'm actually kind of looking forward for, instead of just being stuck inside one guy's fucking mind going, Jesus, I'm tired. I'm already that guy. I'm stuck in that guy's head.
There is now a graphic novel coming out from a different character's perspective in the dungeon, which I think just opens the door to
God, I hope it's Mordecai.
This author's like, wait a second, I could live off this for the rest of my life, just doing, okay, we finished with Carl. Let's see what Frank and Maggie were doing this whole time.
Oh, is that what they're doing?
Just create someone out of whole cloth.
Or go back and write a whole prequel of Mordecai's whole game section.
The graphic novel is actually from a perspective of someone we haven't met yet. So,
okay.
I want to see, but I think that would be awesome to hear about Mordecai's games. I don't know. We may hear more about that in other books that we haven't gotten to. That would be interesting.
Yeah, I've seen several people ask, like, "Oh man, could you do a like prequel that was just maybe even like an anthology of like short stories of Mordecai directing other people through the dungeon and watching them get killed or whatever?"
Oh hell
Oh my
yeah.
god, yes. Yeah, a
Would be
montage of like
awesome.
every chapter is a different crawler dying.
In ridiculous ways.
Not a one got past floor 2.
Yeah.
Just show how he becomes completely jaded with the entire
Yeah, he's
process.
just like, fuck you. I watch people die and I drink, and that's what I do. How you
I
doing,
And we don't
Grandma?
blame you for it.
I love that he's just settled into alcoholic mentor. He was more like put upon grandpa in the first one where he was just like, "No, no, you have to do it this way." But now he's just like, "Why do you guys keep kidnapping me? I was talking to somebody. Were you about to molest someone's grandma? You stay out of my business."
To be fair, it's partly because his current race has a weakness to alcohol, but
Yeah.
True. But this does
I
mean
mean,
he
but he's still
becomes
drinking it.
Woody
He knows what's going to
Harrelson
happen.
that's true.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson in Hunger
in
Games.
a Hunger
yeah.
Games.
Yeah,
That's-
you're
that's-
right.
that's
Yeah,
what
he's
he gives-
thinking Haymitch. Yeah.
That's
He's
what
totally
he gives
Haymitch.
me.
Oh, so,
That is not
sometimes
where
he
my
gives
mind
me.
went first with Woody Harrelson.
Oh,
I was
that's where
like,
my mind was totally at. I was like, he's Haymitch.
I was like, Woody Harrelson from Cheers? Why? I don't get. Okay, no, I'm following you.
For me, I was getting more of I don't know if anybody's here to watch the Enterprise series, but it reminds me of Dr. Phlox when he has the episode when he's woken up too early from his fucking
Oh yeah,
hibernation. Yeah, and he's like half drunk and he's just calling everyone Captain. Captain, hand me that. He's holding the scanner backwards and they flip it and then turn it on for him. Oh yes, that's how it works.
Dr. Phlox does not get as much credit in that show as he probably deserves. I will say he was
Tim he started to
great
become
character actor.
Tim's favorite doctor in all of Star Trek.
He is my favorite doctor. He replaced McCoy.
Wow.
Really? He finally used to. Yeah, you were back and forth on that. Okay.
I have been watching Enterprise, and yeah, Phlox is my favorite doctor.
And we haven't even gotten back to the spoiler alert Borg episode, and he's really good in that.
I hate that episode so much.
You hate that episode? Are you one of those that thinks that it breaks continuity?
I don't know if it
absolutely
breaks continuity. I don't know if that's what upsets me so much. That and the Ferengi episode is just like, there's no reason to do this. There's no reason to go and bring in these like races not introduced until the next generation and bring them in like 200 years earlier. You could tell interesting stories about all sorts of other things that people want to hear. You don't need to be like relying on this stuff that we've established should not be here yet. It bugs me.
The only argument that I saw, and I swear to God, we'll go back to Carl right after this.
No, he won't.
Shut up.
This
Shut
is
up,
a Star Trek
He's on
show
it.
now.
Shut up, Tim. The only argument that I saw online that really kind of made the argument for the episode to exist in this show is that it is connective tissue between the first contact event and the next generation in the way of it explains why the Borg are fascinated and want to take over Picard in the future, because they know now that there is someone who traveled through time and defeated the Borg in the past, and his name was Picard. So when they run into Picard again, it makes more sense for them to capture him and turn him into basically the general of the Borg for no reason, and not just into a drone. They could have easily just taken his knowledge and used that against Starfleet, but no, they had to create a whole name for him and a class that he existed in to lead the Borg. And someone was like, that finally explains why they were so fascinated with him. And I'm like, that's
I don't
good
know that
enough
I buy it.
headcanon.
If they'd gotten any information back to the collective, then they would have just come and assimilated Earth like 200 years before. Anyway, I actually want to.
I'm with Data.
Really?
It's funny you talking about him being your favorite doctor had me thinking, is there any doctor in Star Trek, all of Star Trek, that I'd be like, that's my favorite one? I'm looking down the list, like Bashir might have been if he wasn't such a creepy pervert.
For like 3 seasons, yeah.
I think maybe Dr. Ta'ana from Lower Decks. might be my favorite, which is not saying much for all the other doctors. But
Yeah, doctors are actually hard. There was a long time there where it's just McCoy. And
I
McCoy's not a great doctor. I just like
Yeah.
McCoy as part of the the three guys.
I actually don't see Bashir as a doctor character because I
Oh,
do
that's funny because you're wrong.
I
it's right there in the name, Dr. Bashir, you know. He-
here's my
Second in his
problem with-
class at Starfleet Medical.
Oh yeah, we heard all about how fucking great he is. He's fucking genetically fucking enhanced to be that. But here's the problem: is that the trope of him being the doctor on board in a Star Trek or even a sci-fi show, because the doctor in a sci-fi show just exists as a trope, like as a character. I'm trying to think of an episode where his skills as a doctor solved and saved the entire day. You know, like he solved the
man.
entire
My
problem of
man,
the
my
episode.
man,
It happens
my
a couple
man,
times.
my man. How does the Dominion War end?
I know he does that.
Well, there's your one.
I mean, there's the whole episode where he's obsessed with curing the crazy plague on the planet, and then eventually does. And anyway, there's actually a fair number of episodes where he is helpful. Not as many as where he is trying to hit on patients and
yeah, that was
other
rough.
women who are not interested in him. But
Star
anyway,
Trek is boring.
yeah,
Okay,
Jennifer, what did
fine.
you
Alright, I
think
just feel the
of
need to
these
throw that
4
in there.
chapters?
Oh, chapters. Huh.
Yeah,
I actually liked these chapters. I thought they were a lot of fun. I did miss donut. I needed my donut. I just love her sarcasm, and she's me as a cat. I don't know. So I miss donut quite a bit. I did think it was fun. It was pretty interesting how when we foreshadowed, oh, you don't put your life on the line for your pet. That's exactly what he's doing for these entire 3 chapters, putting his life on the line for his pet, regardless of the fact that it's like not just a pet, but she is his pet. So, we talk about our baby little dinosaur friend. That's the same kind of relationship she has with him. So I'm curious to see if there's a, kind of going back and being like, oh, maybe you do a little bit put your life on the line, pets kind of moment. I guess we'll see. But I mean, that is very obviously what he was doing for this entire 3 chapters. I did like them. Bear was sad. I want to throw that out there. The bear was very sad. And
That was very sad.
I was like, the worm thing was weird. I was like, this is but
It
I did really enjoy it.
The bear definitely is what inspired Carl. He's just like, I'll defeat the monster with kindness.
And that was interesting that it worked and that he realized that there was something bigger going on there. And you have to wonder like how much more stuff in the dungeon we're going to see that's kind of like that and may actually be people who have been kind of forced to be in this that didn't want to be and are now in these roles they don't want to be in, because I think you can even kind of put Mordecai in that. I mean, obviously not nearly as bad as this poor bear, even though hers was probably kind of written in the story, but I think it's kind of all the same. Like they're all kind of suffering in these roles.
They're kind
I
of all
enjoyed
in it
them.
together. If anything, the NPCs have it worse because not only do these
I
characters
know.
have hundreds of years of false memories implanted in them, because they actually haven't been here for that long, obviously, because
Right.
Earth was just crushed, but they have these memories implanted, which means they have memories of entire lives, and then they have memories of their lives after they were infected by this thing, which means that they have memories of being trapped inside of this thing and having their autonomy taken away. So
Yeah.
it's worse because they were never free. They never knew a life of freedom. Mordecai at least was a sentient being with a life before his planet was taken over, so he has some happy memories.
Yeah, but also
It's all
probably makes
bad.
the worst ones worse. But yeah, definitely kind of fun, but I mean not fun, but sad. But overall, I did enjoy these. I think felt a little bit let down with the plan and thing. It did seem like there was enough kind of giving to us of what the plan was. Like in the end, like we knew he was working on something. I feel like there was like enough to kind of let me tie it together before the very end, where it kind of felt like, oh, I was doing the whole time. You just didn't know it, even though it didn't quite seem that way. So I don't know. I felt like there could have been a little bit more hinting into what the heck we were trying to do while we were negotiating with these producers. But overall, I think it was a lot of fun, and I think these might have been my favorite chapter so far because I felt like there was more of a cohesive kind of thing going on here. I think I'll be interested to see how in future books, when we get to the levels where he's going to have to continue to be part of this story, kind of what happens there. So definitely curious about.
Yeah, because he's signed up for it now.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's in it.
he's locked in. He hasn't really necessarily signed a contract because apparently they can sign contracts for him, which I'm with him. That is really fucking scary.
Kind of terrifying.
But I mean, you make an interesting point about the plan, at least, where we're in Carl's head, as the guys have mentioned and complained about to some degree. And you'd think that one of the benefits of being in Carl's head is that we wouldn't be kept as in the dark about Carl's plans that are also in his head. But we don't get a lot of it here. It's just like he's got a thing he's doing. We don't get told.
Yeah, and I'm
What?
not going to lie. Some of it makes me wonder, Carl Denneman, as he's writing, doesn't even really know. That's kind of what it feels like. He's kind of just going through it, and like whatever pops in his head at the moment is what's going to happen. And he wasn't fully thinking it out the whole way. And that may be the case, but that's kind of the feeling I get as we go through some of these things.
That's the thing. Max Drakeman, when he's writing these, he has like the one move, like it's I picked up on it very, very early, and the whole we're going to keep this from the reader, and I'm like, I've seen other writers do it. Like it is kind of his main move that he does. So I mean, I'm actually starting to agree with you on that, where I'm just like, sometimes I really do just want to know what Carl is doing, because sometimes the better thing is to know the hero's plan going into a situation and then seeing how badly it fucks up. And it is almost always, it's like, I have a plan, but I also have another plan that's a secret plan, but I'm not going to tell you, reader, about that because fuck you.
Because we need that
Well,
one to
just
work.
Yeah, and I feel like it would help us respect him more and feel like he's actually smarter to understand what he's thinking in these times. But again, I miss all that. So then it's kind of like, did he, or did we really just stumble through it? I don't know really, because there wasn't any foresight into what he was thinking.
There is.
It is the worst of both worlds, isn't it? Because like you would think the way to make actual like tension when you're doing something stuck inside one character's perspective is that you would know their plan and what they're planning, but not what other characters are thinking and planning. So the tension would then be with all these other groups where he's
Yeah.
like, I don't know if I can trust them, but we don't ever deal with any of that because this is very pulpy and things are very punch. Corporations uphold their deals. So yeah.
You know what I really want, if we were ever to do another, or not another, but if we ever do a point of view change, I would love to see one of the fights the boss's perspective. That we know their plan going in, and then we see how the boss reacts to and changes based on what they do, and then we see from the boss's perspective how they change up their plan. I feel
Nah.
like that would be interesting.
Nah, I want Ed Harris in a Truman Show.
Oh, you want the director of the
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
like
I
the
want,
writers' room.
I want him
arguing, like,
right
what
up
should
there in that
happen
room.
now?
He's an idiot. Zoom in. That's the perspective I want. I want Ed Harris, actual Ed Harris. He's still
for real,
alive,
Ed Harris.
and he's in that room, and it's their finest hour of television.
I love how you mix Truman Show with Apollo 13.
I'm mixing
right there.
all Ed Harris. It is
All of
just
Ed
Ed
Harris.
Harris.
So
He is
also
Man
the
in
bad
Black,
guy from
damn
The
it.
Rock, and
At one point, he runs up to Carl after he drowned, and he just starts smacking him, and he was just like, "You never stepped away from anything in your whole fucking life. Now fight, damn it, fight!"
Yes, Ed Harris.
yes, Tim's just like, obviously, like, have you not
Dungeon crawling Harris. We're in it now.
We're
Oh
8
my
levels
gosh.
deep. We're too
We're
deep.
one level deep. There's nothing else to this joke.
Now I'm just seeing an entire segment of fanfics that are just like various celebrities and what they would do in the dungeon. The possibilities are endless. Okay, let's move into these chapters. How about that?
How about that?
If you want, we can talk about Star Trek again.
I do love talking about. I had a whole Deep Space Nine podcast. So,
Oh, did you?
You did?
it was more my friends. I would just show that was the one where I just showed up for an hour or two once a week and talked about Star Trek, and then he did all the rest of the work. So I
Oh.
don't even think about it as mine so much as I just show up and make fun of Bashir or
Basically
whatever.
what we do when we
Yeah.
deal with you.
Yeah, that's
Is
how
that
I
we
view
just
this
come here
show.
to annoy you once a week. I got you.
Yeah, fun. So we started in chapter 8. We have 6 days left and 998.3 trillion views. So we're moving up. And there's a message from Brandon. We're not going to read that yet. Carl had to put together the cat tree last night, and it came with a little Allen wrench. It's just so mundane. And then he had to light her candle for her that she got out of that like Amazon.com box. And Mongo sleeps in the bottom of the cat tree.
What I love about that is that this whole section is kind of marked by the idea of home and family, like every single bit of it. And this little found family we start with, and then immediately gets ripped away from us, the reader. And it is all about trying to get back to that and it's literally the whole theme of these 4 fucking chapters. I actually
True.
loved these 4 chapters for that.
I hadn't thought about that, but you're right. Yeah, I can absolutely see that. They go outside, and the Bobka is a jerk, and Mordecai's like, yeah, I had to give him this thing and get him drunk, and pass out so I could steal the newsletter that they get to find out like the secrets. Since I'm now the manager, I don't get all the behind the scenes stuff anymore. Also, I stole all of this stuff from him. Here, put it in your inventory while nobody's looking.
Yeah, that was awesome. That made me laugh.
I love that Mordecai's like half a vagabond now. It's so fucking funny to me.
And Carl's like, isn't that cheating? And Mordecai goes, no, managers have one rule. They can't engage in combat with mobs. Everything else is fair. I was like, wow, okay.
Don't you ever tell me the fucking rules. I'm the manager.
Don't tell me the odds. And so there's something in there indicating there might be a big battle in the area sometime tonight. So you guys get the fuck out of Dodge and let's move on. And we read the thing from Brandon. It's been like a day, and they're still going through with all of the old people the class selection process, the racing class selection process, because there's just so many of them.
There's also they're old people, so like I just imagine that going through each class is like when you help an old person like flip through the channels on their TV, and it's like, go back to the one with the horns. That one looked interesting. Like that's all I thought about what it was like helping this. Like, okay, it was like, well, I don't know. It's like, how do I do this? And it's like, okay, well, it works like this. It's like I don't understand it. It's a scam. They're trying to steal my money.
I'm not giving you my social security number. I'm on to
Everyone
you.
here wants to steal from me.
And they can't. None of the old folks can choose human because they need something that will help them with their cognitive or physical issues, whatever they have. So some of them have to pick some really weird races in order to remain viable, he says.
I'm super curious about this. I can't wait to find more out about that.
Right?
I'm a tree.
Oh god damn it! You stole it from fuck. I was just about to say, it's like, can you believe it? I'm a tree now.
I am Groot.
Like,
Even the young folks, it says Chris and Amani both elected not to remain human, but Brandon did. And also the old folks are getting these legendary pacifist boxes for having made it down to the 3rd floor without killing anything. And so even though they're all level 1, they're getting this amazing gear.
but they wanted to be cruel, so like the tree grandpa got like a flaming sword, and he's like, "Oh no!"
Hey, that's still valuable. You can trade it.
It's true, yeah.
Or sell it.
Hey, they can't catch you if you're on fire though, too. So it's still useful.
They don't want to catch you if you're on fire.
Exactly.
True. Yeah. And then Carl messages him back like, hey, just, if you guys are still going through that, you might want to check out this manager ability thing that we found out about.
I'm like, oh no, you're making some other poor person suffer.
Yeah, their guide is Mistress Tiatha, so she may be upset about that. Who knows? Also, does anybody know what Scuttlifily or Sestapunta are?
I'd be really
They've
surprised
spoiled
if any of them know.
There's an old man somewhere that knows in that group.
That's true. Old people seem to know all of the random shit, so probably one of those old people.
It's true. Well, because they just sit all around all day watching Jeopardy and shit. So
Santa Punta. Oh, I had to pay a lot of money for that in a foreign country to have that done.
I was gonna say it's like I got that once. My doctor said, I needed
Take this
antibiotics.
antibiotics for 14 days. You're up.
But Donut and Carl start to leave town. We got to do what Mordecai says. And it's like, all right, well, here we go. And then as they try to leave, all of a sudden, you have been stunned, you have been paralyzed, you have been rendered unconscious. And then the line, why do you got to get killed? You ain't as so little as mice. I didn't bounce you hard. Which I've never actually read that book.
I thought I was having a stroke when I read that, because I was like, because I reread it like 5 times, and I'm like, am I just not understanding? And yes, because I had never read Mice and Men, so
Oh, is that a reference? See, I didn't even realize that was a reference.
He talks about it later in the chapter.
Probably forgot because I read these like 2 weeks ago. No, I had no
That'll
idea what that
happen.
meant. We'll throw that out.
yeah. Tim's never making that mistake again.
Never again. I read this the day that we're going to record from
Yeah,
now
normally I
on.
do. I feel you.
I had nothing to say because it was all blank.
As he wakes up and Donut's not there, he's in the dark. He's like, he's messaging her like, Donut, answer. What's going on? And then he's like, here's Mongo somewhere. Okay, Mongo's still alive, but it's far away. And he has this whole thing. It's like, the AI seemed to think I was about to die, and it had read a quote from Of Mice and Men, which he had to read 3 times in school as a kid. And later on, he read it over and over, not because he liked it, but because it was like familiar and comfortable. Which, knowing a little about the book, still not having read it, I don't feel like comfortable is a word that describes it. But what do I know?
Yeah, I still got it though. There's plenty of shit that I know objectively is really bad, and I don't like it, but it's comforting because it's familiar.
It's a story that's like aspirational. Like at least the characters have aspirations. So there's like hope is part of it. I mean, don't end well, but there's hope. So I
So-
see the parallel between that and like probably where this story's going, which is Carl dies for Donut. You watch book 19.
Although I did get really excited, like scared at first for Donut, but also excited because I'm like, oh, did the writers do a thing where he now has to do the quest to save Donut? Is Donut he's gotta do the quest by himself and get his cat back and solidify their friendship? Because we kept talking about how they're gonna get separated at some point and they're gonna have to like come to terms with like where their friendship is at and their partnership, and I thought that this was like that's where we're going with this, but I was wrong.
I mean, he kind of does have to do the quest to get his cat back in a way. So
Yeah, he's not going in there to get her out of there though. That's what I was expecting.
yeah. And he messages Mordecai like, I just woke up. I don't know what happened. Don't know where I am. And I love that Mordecai, he kind of takes it in stride. He's like, are you tied up in a cage, in a web? Like, where are you? Like, this is all perfectly normal things that might happen. And
I mean, to be
Carl's
fair,
like,
it probably really is for him. Let's be honest. How long has he been doing this now?
He's been through this thousands of times. He's like, all right, you were in a trap. Was it quicksand based? No?
He'd
All
probably
right.
be more surprised if they had absolutely nothing going on.
You just ghosted me for 15 hours?
I was captured. Where are you? What happened? I'm on a couch. Huh. All right.
Cool.
I guess find a bag of chips. Is
Right?
anything on TV now?
and he gets an achievement for getting hit with an offensive spell of level 50, or that was higher than level 15, and not dying. So he gets a platinum lucky bastard box for that.
It was a very offensive spell. Like if you knew the name of it, you would get canceled immediately.
And then he figures he's like, wait, Signet, are you here? And whispering right in his ears, like, you hurt my feelings, Carl.
I was like, psycho bid.
You called me an asshole.
Because you are. Just saying.
You were leaving. You promised you'd come back. And so Sigzel, that's from a different book. Signet is like, look, I've got Donut, and if you want her back, you're going to do exactly what I say. You've betrayed me, but I am forgiving.
Are you really?
My mother taught me that grace should always be observed, even in the face of betrayal. I think that's a little harsh betrayal. Like he broke a date for the next night, but
I mean, some people take that real seriously. But the thing that I made me laugh was when she put her hand on like his inner thigh, and I was just like, the amount of times that this man's balls are in mortal danger in these books is so funny to me always.
That's what happens when you're not allowed to wear pants.
I know. He's like, I need fucking pants. Like, that was actually really fucking funny to me.
He's never getting pants.
He's never getting pants.
And she's put Donut under a spell called Water Lily, which, what does that do? It puts you to sleep, of course. Yeah, of course. How would I not know that?
Yeah, why wouldn't it?
The only way for her to wake up is if I cancel the spell. If I die, she dies. And we find out in a minute, if you try to move her, she dies. You can't move a water lily. So, and all you have to do is do what you promised. Help me out tonight. And you can get her back. So, all right. And so, as much as he doesn't want to, he decides, fine, I'll go with you. Mongo, you stay here, protect Donut. And he stacks like a bunch of stuff around her to make like a little fort out of crap that he had in his inventory to help protect her.
I thought that was super sweet.
Yeah, I like that.
And as he's doing this, Cygnus like Carl now, he's like, Jesus, you're worse than B. Like, you're worse than my ex. Come on. And he has this like kind of heartfelt moment with Mongo. He's like, I don't know if you understand me, but this is super important. The most important thing you've ever done. You have to stay here and protect her. And Mongo just kind of screeches. And it's like, I guess that's a yes. All right.
Yeah, we're hoping he understands.
And then he messages Zev. Like, you there, Zev? Hi, Carl, I'm watching. The whole universe is watching. We're all rooting for you. And she's like, okay, I need your help with something. And we don't, it just says, I explained what I wanted her to do. And she told me it was impossible. And I told her to try anyway.
Do you think maybe we'll find out later that important information?
Maybe. It could happen.
Needed. Yeah.
And so we're going to do the same thing as yesterday. She's going to try to cast her spell. Somebody's got to die. But she's like, this time I'm betting on you. And she gives him the whole backstory of she was a kid. She, her mother died. She got taken in and by the circus.
Because of course.
Of course.
Always the circus.
Scalapendra's poison cloud was a 9-tier attack. It attacked in 9 different ways. The lucky ones simply died. The others were transformed. And so we had Grimaldi, the ringleader. I feel like we had a discussion before. Was it ringmaster or ringleader? She says ringleader here.
Ringmaster.
I think it's supposed to be ringmaster also, but the book says ringleader. And the cataclysm hit just as the show was ending. They were all in the center ring taking their bows. And Grimaldi transformed into the vine. And they all the rest of the circus got infected with mold-covered parasites and puts them all under his control. So tonight we're going to attack, and you're going to fight Heather. I've captured her a lot of times, but usually I bet on her to kill the other thing. Tonight, I'm betting on you.
I have looked it up. Ring master is what leads a circus. Ring leader often refers to an instigator or leader of a group that is involved in illicit, rebellious, or mischievous activities. He is technically both. So
I guess, yeah. He was one fair. And now the other. Yeah.
So it's kind of interchangeable in this case, so I'll just give it to him.
She's got this bear put to sleep in the middle of the road, and he's like, okay, well, you just start casting your spell, and before she wakes up, I'll go over and kill her. And she goes, no, I can't do that, Carl. I can't influence the battle, or the spell doesn't work. And he goes, that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. And she's like, well, what can I tell you? And the chapter ends with a notice that boss battles arising from secondary productions may not present themselves in the same way as normal. You'll still get awards commensurate with the boss's rank if you survive. And Carl's like, great.
Well, there's that at least.
Yeah, so I'll get something. We get Heather the bear, neighborhood boss. She's a roller skating bear who her current job is to hunt down meat for the circus clowns to feast on. And she's creepy with these like worms where her claws should be.
Worms.
I just love Mordecai's reaction to that. Where he's like giving a rundown of all the different things you could do to her, and then he's just like, "Worm arms. That's new for me. I don't know. Stay away from them."
Yeah, just don't let her hug you.
Maybe don't get near them.
Good job, Coach.
Carl's over here like, I was totally gonna let the bear hug me with her worm claws. I'm glad he said that. All right,
Coach, they keep knocking me down. Well, don't let them do that. Thanks,
Get up.
But I love how on top of it is like, Mordecai, I've got a level 19 bear with worms for claws and roller skates for feet. What tips do you have? And Mordecai's like, wait, do you mean those shoes with wheels on them? What the fuck? And then he's like, okay, is it male or female? Because that makes a difference. What kind of bear is it? Because black bears are smaller, but they're faster. Female bears are usually smarter than the male ones. But she fast is one of the things we learned very quickly. And she is a black bear, but bigger than black bears generally are. Also, she has a pink clown hat attached, like fused to her skull. So that's creepy also. And then as the fight starts, the worms get longer and like it says like pasta being made directly from the bear's hands. She swipes at him. Yeah, no. She swipes at him and the worms connect. And there's a moment where he thinks, I need pants. I really fucking need pants. And he hears this voice. Yes, this is new flesh, primal flesh, delicious flesh. The clown's hunger. And it's like, oh, what the fuck was that? He has to use his protective shell to like knock that back. But knocking her backwards gives him a moment to do something. And he starts throwing random crap from his inventory on the ground, some barbells and bolts and stuff, so that it stops the roller skating from working as well, which I don't know that I would have thought of that. That's very smart.
It was. Love that.
Too close for boom jars or dynamite, but I can cover her with some regular moonshine and light her on fire. And it totally works in that she does in fact light on fire and her health bar starts going down, but not as much as he hopes that it would. And if you've never had a flaming skull-faced bear on roller skates barreling at you at full speed, you don't know what you're missing.
Well, I mean, I just guess I missed that life lesson because I've never seen one.
It's been a long time since college, so.
And then he has his last-ditch effort. He has that lottery ticket, fireball or custard. And he's like, maybe I'll get that level 15 fireball. That'll take care of her. And as the fire that was already on her starts to like burn everything away, she's like left as a skeleton with worms all over and inside of her, but she's still only halfway down in life.
Yeah, we get kind of like a Terminator shot where she like gets up and like all the rest of the flesh just kind of peels off.
Yeah,
I really love that bit. Yeah,
it's some horror movie shit. And then he gets custard. Custard, yummy. But it turns out that's exactly what he needs. The custard starts to heal the bear, grows all that flesh
Which is
back.
funny,
but also,
because we think it's going to go very differently from that custard.
Yeah.
What would have been really funny there is if she goes down with the fire, her health bar goes all the way down, and then the music swells again, and you start hearing Latin, and then the health bar goes back up, and it's like the next stage of the fight starts, and it's like the worm host bear. Or some shit.
Like
it just turns into a Dark Soul fucking shit.
I mean, it kind of felt that way a little bit, yeah. But custard saves the day. I love that it's even.
Did.
It's like the announcer dude from that goddamn Candy Crush game that his ex used to play all the time with the volume all the way up for some fucking reason when he was trying to watch TV.
Which is really funny because I've played Candy Crush a million times. And I didn't even know there was an announcer voice because my volume is never on. Thing I do when I do any game, it's automatically turn off all sound and music.
I think most people don't. I think he's just the author's doing a really good job of making us hate B completely.
Yeah.
I know, right? We're going to love her when she shows up at some point.
But the custard heals her and gets rid of the parasitic worms that have infected her.
Do you think this means that custard is like light holy energy?
Maybe.
Like game mechanics wise, like undead, like you know, poisons and stuff don't affect them, but like holy energy, that stuff. So is custard close to godliness?
You know, at first I thought you were asking if it was in real life, but I mean it could be. Custard's really good.
We're gonna get some custard for this next day that we do this.
Yeah, we are.
We're all just gonna eat custard and talk, so be holy and get rid of the worms.
Religions have been built on shakier ground than this.
Yeah,
so,
this we see direct facts. Custard heals.
Yeah.
Oh, I took a completely different meaning. I got a completely different meaning off of it. I thought you were going to be like, let's all get custard so we can remember the good times and then finally die in peace.
Just stare at someone with circular eyes. Kill me.
Please, it's because she turns into Jeff Goldblum at the end of The Fly and just be like, please.
Yeah. She's been alive and tortured for hundreds of years from her perspective, and she was old already. Like Signet told us, like we were about to retire her. So without the worms holding her together, her health starts going back down after she's healed. And he was like, I was tempted to let her die on her own, but only for a moment. And then I crushed her head in with 2 quick punches.
Well, do you
Gotta
really
get
want
that
her to
XP,
die on
you
her
know?
own? Well, that probably wouldn't fulfill the thing with Signet. You really want her pissed at you another night?
Oh, fair
Right?
point.
Sorry, the spell
What?
doesn't work when they
You're
die
asking
of
for it.
sadness.
She was begging for it. He could tell. She wanted it to end.
Yeah.
I mean, we can say that. I mean,
Yeah, I did.
She was an old bear. Yeah, we can, and we did.
he could discern the difference between a look of pleading for death or pleading for mercy very easily on the
Fair.
face of a bear.
Dude,
Okay, fair point.
dude. I see that look all the time in your face.
That's
Which one?
true. That's true. He
Just
knows.
kill me.
Just kill me now. And then every time I say just kill me, he asks, all right, but how much? And I'm just like, "Ugh, I can't afford you. All right, fine.
No.
And then I gotta go to work.
Surprise for
I'm s-
listeners out there, Mike is a bear. So
Yeah.
Complete.
Oh,
Completely.
there we go.
I gotta save up enough money to die. Like most millennials.
Don't we all?
yeah. Signet's spell goes off, and Carl messages Mordecai, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of surprised. I thought for sure that she wanted me to die. And Mordecai's like, yeah, she probably did, but the system lets these elites like get away with some shit. So for the sake of the drama of the program, whichever one of you died, her spell was probably gonna work. And the program, Mordecai visited an old buddy of his, the only game guide in this particular town that he knows. And the only information he could get was that the program is called Vengeance of the Daughter, which confirms Carl's hunch, although we don't know what that hunch is.
Don't worry, reader. We'll find out later.
Maybe.
And we get to see her tattoos, the spells she was trying to cast. They all come off and turn into these enormous, like 10-foot high creatures. There's a giant like dragon swimming through there's a hammerhead shark floating around. And Carl's like, I mean, they're 2D. Like, can they actually fight? And he's like, oh, they can fight. Don't worry about that.
And Carl, unlike a lot of men of his generation, thinks that she's more attractive with less tattoos. That was interesting.
I like when he describes the monsters as reverse shrinky dinks.
Yeah, I know, right? Maybe take a
I
whole shrinky
forgot
thing.
about
I
that.
want to do some.
Classic reference. And they show up as blood and ink elementals. Level 50 is this one that he looks at, this 3-headed ogre. And he doesn't understand how these 2D things are going to fight, but they do. They go in there and they smash up the defenses, and things actually go relatively well. The problem is
her paper army, really kind of like weirdly, like they just gesture at the enemies and they do damage. That was like the strangest bit, and I was just like, oh man, this shit's like really video gamey.
this is like a low res cutscene here. Just like whiffing.
It's when Luke goes to kick the guy and 10 feet away, the guy just like flies backwards.
Well, that's the Force.
Force
Yeah,
kick.
totally.
I know. I've heard that one too.
No, that's what it is.
There's a force kick.
Yep.
And I love Carl's like, you got some serious shit going on. All I do is punch stuff. So, just fair warning. They fight their way in, and we find out Zev has messaged the producer of the show, who didn't want to talk to her at first, but they also had to run it by the Syndicate AI referee, who said it's only allowed under very strict circumstances. So, okay. She thinks that the producer of the show is waiting to see how this stuff plays out before he makes a decision. So we're gradually getting a little more and more info on what Carl is asking.
Which is fun too, because it's outside of everyone's control. So even if we had known the plan, it wouldn't change anything. Yeah.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Jennifer where this is just like frustrating.
No.
Yep.
I'm starting to go that way too. Like that was a time where I'm like, no, I want to know how he was trying to influence events in this particular case because it feels very relevant to what we're doing at this very moment.
Yeah, not knowing doesn't add to tension. Like, because we literally
No.
don't know what's to be tense for.
It's
Like,
it's
if
like
we knew
in
the
a heist.
plan,
Yeah.
then we would have people go, "Oh no, well, we're waiting to hear back from them." And then he's like, "I've got to stretch for time or try to boost my numbers up." He does nothing to like boost his viewership numbers. He just already had high viewership numbers.
Yeah, it's like in a heist, just knowing the plan knows that these are all the points of failure, these are all the ways that it can go wrong, and it's like we really need to start getting more of that kind of shit in here. It would also be nice if we started getting more influence, and this might happen later, but like more influence from the writers' room to where it's like, all right, they'll do it, but you got to do the thing while doing Fortnite dances. Like, oh, fuck. All right, fine. I'll floss. I'll floss for donut if it saves her.
Floss for donut.
Floss for
I feel
donut.
like Carl would not know Fortnite dances, but maybe he plays video games.
Yeah,
Anybody?
and this is from a few
Anybody-
years ago. Flossing
Hmm.
would still be a thing.
Anybody doing fan art at home? Floss for donut. We need it.
And so they make the attack pretty well, but they cannot get into the big top itself. She's like, "Oh, this is where we always get bogged down. I was hoping Heather's blood would be powerful enough to get us through." And so this is where Carl actually comes into the plan. You got to kill one of the clowns, get their ticket, you get inside, you knock down the poles, the 3 poles, and that'll take down the big top. We can get in. But fortunately,
Sounds
we've already
like,
killed the
the-
clowns. So
Sounds like the setup for the what was that fucking Nickelodeon or the show where it was like Legend of the Hidden
Legends of the Hidden
Temple or
Temple, love that
Legend
show.
is that's always like you have to kill the evil clown, take the ticket,
The
get
voice and
into the
everything.
circus, knock down the poles.
Except,
That's all I thought with that.
except we already have tickets.
Yeah, we've had bunch tickets.
Simple plotting. I'm with Jen. Simple plotting.
I mean, I kind of like the fact that it's like she's like, "Okay, so here's your fetch quest before you can do the rest of the quest." And he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh no, I was doing some leveling and I already got like the fetch thing."
We got so
here you
many
go."
of those. We were selling them.
It's how many times, Jennifer, have you done a quest in Tears of the Kingdom where it's you to go and find me 10 of these mushrooms, and you're like, "I have so many. Here you go, take 10 mushrooms. Why not?"
Yeah.
It
Yeah, you
feels
see,
very
I
good.
understand that I need lots of shit, so I pick it all up. All of it.
What would have been really funny is if he had a stack of the tickets and then he's just like, "Oh fuck that! This is what we're doing." And he hands a ticket to her and all of her like little paper soldiers, and he's just like, "We're all going to the circus," and they all just have to just like slowly walk through the circus. And I feel like that would have
Well,
been a
see,
fun mental image to have. It was like we summoned this whole army to fight, and now we're just having to do like a stealth mission into the fucking place with
Okay,
all
yeah,
of
that would be
these
fun.
things.
I agree with this now.
can they use the that's never brought up, and it's like he's got all these tickets. Like she's exiled, but if she had a ticket, would she be allowed in there? Like these are questions.
Yeah, I mean, she says, "I've been banished. I can't go inside," and she knows about the clowns with the tickets. So presumably, if she could
So
use
maybe
one, she
not.
would.
Yeah, it never explicitly says that, but I was.
Yeah. Interesting. I really like this picture though, where he's like, I have tickets for all of us," and all of the like 2D
Right, would've been
giant,
funny.
like a hammerhead shark is just like strolling through.
It has like a
Great.
ticket like just like clutched in one of its fins, and it's just like looking around. It's like the shark actually really loves the jugglers.
Yeah.
Good time for everybody.
Yeah, go to the circus. It's a good time.
And then we get the ticking clock in the next chapter. She's like, "We only have 30 minutes before the battle squad fades, so you got to get in there." And so he goes in, and it's all creepy as shit. There's Clammy the clown taking tickets with these like, it says yellowed fingernails like the claws of a badger. That's nice.
And now I'm Googling badger claws.
And so, yeah, he gets in fine. And that's when we start getting the angst that someone mentioned that we're weaponizing in this section, where Carl goes on a big long thing about the time his mom took him to the circus for his 4th day. They temporarily left his dad and run away to her parents' house in the middle of nowhere, Texas. And it was like one of these little ghetto circuses, but it had like this. It's like this one nice memory that he has, and there's this smell that he associates with it. It's not like anything else he's ever smelled. It's this circus smell.
If anybody at home has watched Jujutsu Kaisen, this whole section feels like an episode of Jujutsu Kaisen. This is the anime bit.
I have not seen it, so I
It's like, oh man, a grounded moment of angst where the guy was remembering something about his mother growing up, and then you've been cursed with worms. yeah, it's very Jujutsu Kaisen to me.
Okay. And I love that he's always held on to this memory that he associates with this smell. And it's like it's the one thing that no matter what bad stuff happened.
The smell is just awful. It's carnies and like horse shit.
I've never been to a carnival, so
Yeah, it's livestock like smells. So you smell like the hay and like animal hair and all that. They're like, yeah, it's not a pleasant smell, but it's kind of like him talking about Mice and Men. He's like, it's not a book that he likes, but he associates good memories to it or comfort to it.
He says peanuts and cotton candy and roasting corn and hay and animal musk and cheap plastic toys. So there's some nice smells in there, not just like animal shit, but yeah.
A cacophony of things, yeah.
And yeah, he's like, this is like this thing that no matter how horrible things got, no one could take away from me. And then they did. It hit me out of nowhere like a baseball bat and made me think of my 4th birthday. And now they've like tainted that, and it just makes me so fucking mad. And yeah, inside they're like performing. There's acrobats and clowns on a unicycle and shit, just doing normal circus stuff as if there wasn't a giant battle going on outside. And one of the clowns offers him an ice cream cone filled with the gross worms, which he passes on for now.
But remember that, audience.
And he sees
because everybody wants worms.
He sees Grimaldi in the center ring. It's more like a big bush or a shrub than a vine, but no, I get it. And he has discovered a city boss, bigger than more like a higher level than any of the bosses he's seen so far. Just an FYI, the AI says, as of this moment in the current season of Dungeon Crawler World, not a single crawler has faced a city boss and survived.
And technically, that's still true after this.
It is indeed.
And the reward for a lot of people are probably going to watch you die. That's a better prize than most of us get. I guess that's true on some level.
I know we made fun of the worm cone though, but I was not expecting the worm cone to come back. I thought that was actually a really good bit of like Chekhov's worm cone.
Yeah, I was also not expecting that he would ever willingly eat a worm cone. Yeah.
Again, one of those things where like, we wish we knew the plan. Why are we eating this worm thing?
Well, no, I don't think that was his plan when he walked in.
No, that couldn't have been.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah, that was a pivot.
No, that was a good little bit of, he kind of took note of that, and then I could tell that he, like, you know, like when he actually like goes up to it, I was just like, oh, he switched it up, because I'm sure him influencing it by talking to the writer's room was the original plan, but once he started to kind of get an idea for what the hell's going on here, so there's like thought going into this. So I thought that bit was actually pretty nicely set up.
It's a level 85 elite city boss, which I assume makes it even tougher. But he and Mordecai, this is where we start finding out. Oh, they discussed this based on the little hints that she dropped in their conversations, talking about the vine. Mordecai was like, "Oh, I bet it's a pestiferous vine." And so here he's like, "I was right? It's a pestiferous vine." If there's anything Mordecai is apparently an expert on, it's these plants.
I love when he just turns into a turd and he's just like, oh, I know what that is. Do you want to know all about it? And it's just like, just tell me how to kill it. That's all I want to know.
I got to wrap up for this.
And he's like, every season, crawlers die like by the hundreds to these things, but they're actually super easy to kill if you know the way. You poison. You got to be poisoned. Somebody needs to be poisoned, and you drip poison blood on the roots. The roots suck up any moisture, and then the thing will just die after like 20 minutes. And to cure it, you give it some of the same blood, but not poisoned, and that will cure it. But why would you want to do something like that? And Carl is immune to poison because of his cloak, so he has to pull that off, and then easily poisons himself with what we've established before. If you take a potion before your potion cooldown has stopped, then you get poisoned. And so he cuts himself after he poisons himself, drips some blood on there, and then cures himself, and he's ready to go. And he talks to Zev and says, okay, I did it, but the plan has changed. I want you to tell them exactly this. So apparently, yeah, he had a plan, and now he has decided he's going to switch it up. I don't know if we're ever told exactly what the original plan was.
Yeah,
probably
because
never.
Yeah, the slowly poisoning the vines was not going to be interesting to watch for the audience. Like, no one was going to care, and also there was no guarantee that it was going to work. So he kind of knew that this was after doing this plan was like kind of destined to fail. But yes, this is exactly a plan that we should have known going into the fucking place. Because then we would have been like, how is this going to go wrong? And then have Carl switching it up, and we actually are privy to that knowledge. That would be nice.
I'm also not entirely certain that it was going to fail. Like he's talking about how he's going to die once the thing goes down. I'm like, in a mass melee where maybe everything dies anyway without the vine. I've seen you in worse situations, Carl.
Yeah, fair.
The point is that it's not that it was just that there was no guarantee that it was going to work. You know, like there's no like it happens, and he's like, I don't even like get an alert of. He's like, I think it worked, and I don't think that was satisfactory enough to him to be like, I don't even know if I even did anything here. And I feel like that in of itself kind of indicated to him, he's like, this is probably a bad plan.
Well, as far as people not being interesting the way he did it, Zev is like, the net is going crazy. It's amazing, both these dramas playing out at the same time, which is a line that he does not pay as much attention to as he might should right then. Like, what other drama? He's kind of busy with what he's doing. And so he has a message for the producers. I just poisoned Grimaldi, even though he's an elite. I suspect you're going to let him die. I know it's all part of your plan. This Signet is getting down to the hunting grounds and messing with the guys who did all this to her. And your plan is probably Grimaldi dies, all hell breaks loose, and I die. I'm seeing the poles in here. Clearly, one of the poles falling down. It probably will fall down when Grimaldi dies. We'll knock the entire thing down. And Signet will be able to get in, but only after I'm dead, right? Yeah, I see what you're doing. But your program is getting amazing ratings of me right now. And if you want that to continue, we can cut a deal.
It's essentially pitching a pilot.
Yeah. And it's like, and to it's not sweeten the pot. It's like, if you don't agree, I'll just cure him and leave. And then after all the buildup, people will be pissed. It'll be like Geraldo and Al Capone's vault all over again, which there's another millennial reference for you.
A very elder millennial.
That's a Gen X fucking thing.
Yeah,
that was like early 80s.
That's the thing. That's the thing. My dad used to bitch
about. It was 90s. Oh.
That's how I know about Al Capone's vault. It's my
was
dad
it the
bitched
90s?
about it.
No, it wasn't. It was 86.
Yeah,
I was one.
That was before my time, even. Yeah, so like shit.
For some reason, I remember being a kid and seeing a bunch of stuff about that, and so I assumed that it happened around then. But I guess it happened earlier.
People talked about it for years because it was like the most embarrassing fucking Geraldo moment, you know? Because he was so excited.
It came into play a lot when he went to Fox, because a lot of people were then talking about Geraldo. Remember this idiot? He used to have a TV show. So probably around time that maybe you remembered it, because like he literally, his career was over, and then it wasn't.
Yeah, he turned it around a little bit. He maintained relevance for a while. Okay, so Zev comes back and says, they said, and I quote, "Let's see what you got first, Crawler. If your stupid ass can get out of this, we look forward to working with you." Which, wow, okay, that's very professional of these producers.
Shit, they probably say that to most of the Survivor contestants on Fox. I mean, if you get out of this shit, like, we might still work with you.
And I love that it ends with, like, it mentions, Zev says, I have the power to sign on your behalf. And Carl goes, that's terrifying. All right. If they ask, they're going to be pissed off. But if they ask, tell them I know what I'm doing. And she goes, do you? He goes, fuck no. I'm making this shit up as I go. Which is nice of you to admit. Okay. And so, yeah, he uses that Wisp Armor spell book that he's been holding on to for a while. which protects from some magical attacks, but also provides temporary immunity to mind control effects, which is the relevant part. Then he asks, hey, you got any of those ice cream cones left? Oh, also, he drops blood down to cure the guy, even though he just said he wasn't going to do that. But he gets the ice cream cone, eats the worms, which is deeply disturbing the way that it's described, but whatever.
Best dinner ever.
Yeah, this shit is right out of Jujutsu Kaisen at this point, because the characters in that show do like gambits like this, where it's like, all right, this will either horribly deform and maim me, or this will help me win, or both.
Or both, yeah. The best way.
This is girl dinner. This isn't Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh yeah, girl dinner. Yeah,
Yeah,
parasitic worms.
parasitic worms.
That's one way to get skinny, I guess.
Ew. We get some more worm talk where it's like, don't worry, you're one of us now. We won't feed you to the clowns.
Gooble gobble. Gooble
Yeah.
gobble.
Gooble gobble, yeah.
Yeah. I know. I wish he'd spelled it differently instead of just looking like gobble gobble gobble. Like
No,
it's
he spells them
Gooble gobble.
differently. No, it's spelled Gooble gobble. You can look at
Was
it.
it?
It's
Yeah,
two
it
O's
is.
and one O. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It's Gooble gobble.
I totally read it as gobble gobble until you mentioned it, and I looked closer and was like, oh no, he's right. Yeah, that's Gooble gobble, all right.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
from the movie Freaks from 1932.
Which is very relevant to this. Everybody at home, Google it, because it's actually it's like one of the first movies.
I don't know about that, but it's the famous freak show like circus movie. And one of us, Gooble gobble, Gooble gobble.
Ugh. But
This was a thing.
He makes his way out as the worms are talking to him. You're one of us now. We won't kill you. We won't feed you to the clowns. And he hears Grimaldi. Hey, no, this is great. He thinks this is what going crazy feels like in Grimaldi's like, no, this is nothing like that. And he goes back out to Signet, who is like, oh, Carl, I thought. And then she sees like what's going on with him. And Carl manages to regain control and tries to open a dialogue between Grimaldi and Signet, where they convince him, like, I know you're trying to protect your family, but look at the fucked up shit that you have turned them into. This is wrong. This is not helping the family that you loved so much. And meanwhile, Carl is thinking, come on, you assholes. Don't you see how great this drama is? Because he knows that it's not all up to Grimaldi. The people directing the production can, nudge them in the direction they want the story to go.
This was the bit that was a little bit more like Stranger Things for me. And it's like, you got to fight the evil. You remember who you are.
And he after his timer runs out, healing potion that Mordecai told him will get rid of a parasitic infection, and coughs up the worms. Still gross. And Signet tells him that Donut will wake up with the sunrise and thanks him. I don't know if we will cross paths again. Thank you, Carl.
She's going to be just how many levels that he gained.
Yeah, she's still gonna be like beating his ass and else.
Mm-hmm. He's disappointed he missed out on all that experience from soloing a city boss, but still, he completes the quest. The show must go on. It's all great. And then he remembers that thing that Zev said. Both of these dramas. What's the second one? And Mordecai messaged, Carl, Donut's health just dropped below 20%. Go now. And that's where we end our section.
Yep, that's the second drama. He's got to make it there to save her. Because that on the back end, they sent a bunch of shit after Donut. Because they were just like, look, you kind of tricked us. Now we're going to make you work for it.
So for next time, we're doing 3 additional chapters. That is 12, 13, and 14. We're 40% of the way through the book at this point. So we are progressing. But let's do predictions. What do you guys think is going to happen in the next 3 chapters? In the rest of the next 5 minutes as we go and try to save Donut? What do you guys think? Where are we going?
All right. So we're running to go save Donut. Her health is dropping, which I don't know if she's actually getting attacked by anything. It could just be that she got moved and her health is going down because she got moved by something. In either case, he's got to make it there quick. And she can't wake up yet because she's going to wake up in the morning. And I don't know how close we are to morning at this point. So it should be a Carl having to just stand his ground and fight an army of What's-It. We're probably going to discover what the trash mob's dungeon, because we know that it was, what was it, rats at first, and then grubs. It
Rats
might
and
be
then grubs.
whatever
Yep.
trash mob, and all they did was just knock over her little barrier that she was in, and he literally just has to like
And move her.
kill. Yeah, and he's just got to kill through an army of them to like get to her, and it'd be great for him to show up and like Mongo's trying to tear through them, but there's just too many or something, So we got to have Carl kind of come in and save the day. So I'm looking for a fairly straightforward like rescue scene there, because I think Carl earned a good little bit of heroism after that crazy Doctor Who level gambit he just did. So
That does feel a little bit Doctor Who, especially like figuring out a way to end the horrible situation without actually anybody. Yeah.
And then like solving the problem with angst and a little bit of combat. I mean, that was the anime aspect of it. So, it's been fun, but a more straightforward action sequence of him saving her right now is probably called for. So that's my prediction for that. I have no idea what's going to happen going forward with the rest of the book at this point. A lot of my predictions for long term have kind of like gone out the window. So, I just go to my old standby. Fucking the horny old lady. She asked to become like a space robot, so she's gonna be Mecha Grandma. Horny Mecha Grandma incoming, guys.
It's that makes it 10 times more disturbing that it's horny mecha grandma. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What happened? Okay, do we see Signet again, and what happens when we do?
Oh,
We're not seeing Signet for a couple of books.
you really
Okay.
think?
I think we're done with her story definitively until whenever we get down to floor 6.
Yeah, 6 would be the next
Yeah.
connected one.
Yeah.
So,
My
okay,
my
so-
prediction is she's gonna come back like Gandalf the White at one point and save Carl and Donut out of a situation, and she'd be like, "I don't owe you anything anymore," and then like whips, like gets the fuck out of there. So I think we'll see her at least one more time. Maybe she'll be like a Deus Ex Machina for one bit. Who knows?
Now that she owes him one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair. All right, Tim.
I think. Oh wow, we almost lost power. There's a storm coming in.
Is that why my fucking laptop keeps flickering like that?
Oh yeah,
Shit.
yeah. The power keeps.
That's why that's been happening. Okay, I
Yeah.
thought it was just the.
You don't hear the
laptop fucking-
thunder?
I have headphones on.
Oh, I think Mongo knocked Princess Donut off of the little ottoman thing, and that's what's killing her. That's it. That you left Donut in charge, and not Donut. You left Mongo in charge, and he's just like, I gotta get at Mom, and he just tore that whole thing down and moved her, and she's on the ground, and now her health is draining, and that's the threat. Is just that you stupid dumb boy, you almost killed her. And also, she has that ability now where she gets the Zenkai boost, where when she dies, there's like a back to health, and then it gets like stronger. This is a great way to like just grind that up.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah, that's right. She's got.
I'm
like
always
a,
trying to think of like video gamey bullshit. Like this is a situation. Move off of that thing hit. Wait for the cooldown to be over, then move her off of the thing, and just keep doing that.
Yeah, what is that in Pokemon? Is it the focus sash or some shit? Like
It's there's a focus sash like that. You can't actually level with a focus sash, and it only works for one hit KOs. Where this doesn't, I don't think specify it has to be one hit KO. It's literally just a like second wind or something. I forget what the.
It's like she can survive one fatal hit per encounter or something like that. So,
which she's not really in an encounter.
Yeah, I was about to say, how
so
would that
it's
work if you're outside of an encounter? Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see on that.
Okay.
Maybe it never doesn't give XP. Anyway, that's what I think happened. I think Mongo's killing Mama because he loves her, because that dog needs to learn how to sit.
Okay,
More relatable angst. Your mom was under a spell, and you tried to like get her to the hospital, and the spell's killing her slowly on the way there. Yeah, everyone's been through that.
Maybe don't leave the dinosaur in charge. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Mordecai could have been in charge. It's not a fight.
That's true. Yeah. Although, well, he sent
Yeah.
Mongo there to protect Donut in case there was a fight. So
He could at
I'd
least
like
make
to
sure that Mongo doesn't kill her.
okay,
I'd like
fair.
to
Yeah,
think
Mordecai
that
could have stood there. Yeah.
with the levels that he's gained, I'd like to think that Mongo is at least smart enough not to do that, but that could very well be what happened. Or while fighting, he accidentally knocked her off. Who knows?
That's all I thought, because we'd already said if you moved her, she died, and I was like, and you left the very needy puppy-coated Velociraptor. Like, he's just going to tear that down, get to her, nudge her off the thing, and boom, now she's dying.
He's explaining the instructions to Mongo, and then it goes to his perspective, and it's like it's like wop wop wop, move, wop wop wop, donut, wop wop wop, bed. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Mongo does seem kind of puppy coated. Yeah,
he's very puppy-coated.
Yeah, very much.
that's fair. Okay, so that's a simple problem. Pretty, hopefully simple solution. Yeah. All right.
Yep, just put her back on the stool, and then go, bad dog. You almost killed Mom.
Rub your nose in almost killing. Yeah.
Yeah, rub your nose in Donut, the thing that knocked her off the stool.
Whereas
Mixed messages to the freaking
Yeah,
dog.
a little bit mixed message.
whereas if it is like it going after her, like it would be a great scene where he has to keep running over and throwing her back on the thing, and she just continually gets knocked off, like it was like in some kind of like Jackie Chan movie where it's like, no, stop, pull the baby out of the way of the bullets.
Yeah, like Rush Hour, where he's protecting the priceless vase in the middle of the fight.
And he keeps putting it back, and it keeps getting knocked over, and
yeah, and then he gets shot and it breaks, and yeah, classic. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
All right, I guess Jennifer, predictions.
Gosh, kind of hard to predict this one. Like, we seem to wrap up most of what we've kind of on the radar for the moment.
Yeah.
So, I guess prediction wise, I think I'm hoping that we've had some rocky moments with Princess Donut, kind of due to the whole pet comment. Maybe wrapping up some of that as she awakens and sees everything that he did to make sure that she did awaken. So maybe smooth over a little bit of that relationship. Understand Bongo's kind of like my toddler cat who, sometimes you want to kill, but is really sweet. And he's a part of the family too, so we'll see. As to otherwise, I have no idea. I think we're gonna go finally find that big town and maybe figure out what money does for us. We still don't know that.
When are we getting to the
Top of-
fireworks factory?
I know, right? It's some point in time where we gonna buy some shit. I also am very interested, like we said before, just to find out what happened to the old people. I want to know all about that, but I think it may be a bit before we find out about that. But we will find out eventually, and I want to know. I honestly have no idea where you're going from this, because, like I said, we've kind of wrapped up everything else we have clues. So hopefully it'll be fun, though.
Yeah, we've wrapped up the stuff that we started so far, except for, like you said, the trip to the town that we're supposed to be going to. So yeah, it's kind of an open field for. We know we're going to like a skyfowl settlement, but other than that, so I can see how it would be tricky to predict when it could be anything.
I'm hoping for new quests though, because I like the quest. Quest was for questing.
Quest is better than just randomly wandering the dungeon.
Yeah, it just seems like when we do that, we're kind of literally just doing that. We're wandering around with no real aim or purpose. And that just feels like there's no forethought put into it. Like some more structured.
Okay. That makes sense. Get a little more story structure into. Yeah. All right, well, we have one email with a 5-star review attached. So
Hey,
Mike, get ready for an achievement after I read this email.
oh god,
This
the
one.
existential crisis every time I have to do this.
This one is from Steve.
Steve.
And Steve says, I just started the series a couple of weeks ago, not knowing anything about the books. I just thought the cover looked interesting. I went looking for a podcast for some literary analysis of the book and came across your podcast. I guess I liked your cover as well. I enjoyed the group chemistry you all have. It's very entertaining. I especially enjoyed the predictions. I finished the first book before listening, so every time someone made an off comment that I knew was coming around the corner, I would laugh out loud. And then he attached his 5-star rating on, I don't actually know what platform this is, but something. So thank you, Steve.
It's Chinese Twitter.
I mean,
He sent it by Raven,
Ravens.
It's Red Note.
the original tweet.
Ka.
Ka. All right, I'm going to bed.
I mean,
you have to hand out an
the
achievement first.
storm is
I
getting
know.
pretty bad out there. We might lose.
All right,
power
all right,
soon.
all right. If it cuts out in the middle, I swear to God, that was not me trying to get out of this. We do legitimately have a fucking rainstorm outside. Leave me alone. Okay.
We'll believe it when we
So,
see it.
so it was Steve, right?
Yep, Steve.
Stevie.
Steve, you have a lot of good memories from growing up, and you have some bad memories. And now it feels like you've gone through life, searching for something to kind of get you out of this malaise, and you've found this podcast. And what you also didn't realize was that malaise was not some search for purpose, or like losing your spark for life. You were actually also infested with parasitic worms that are psychic.
Mm-hmm.
It happens to a lot of us.
Yeah.
But you know what? One day, something like our podcast is going to come along, and it's going to remind you of who you were before the worms. And, and then finally, our podcast is going to allow you to die with dignity, because a man with no pants is going to literally beat you to death. So your achievement is die with dignity. Good job, Steve.
Achievement unlocked. Steve, you died with dignity. Because of worms.
That's more than some of us will get. So,
Yeah,
fair.
So some of us will die shitting and screaming. So that's a much better.
Mike has already made his reservation for that. What?
Yes, I have. But Tim,
because of the worms. Yeah.
Tim is cackling right now. No one can hear it. So Tim, in our little thread that we have here, posted an image, and he goes, "Steve," indicating that this image is Steve. It is a hunter from Halo. They are made of worms.
Yeah. It took me a minute to be like, why the fuck the
backslaps.
the worm. Yeah. Steve, you're a hunter.
Steve, you're made of worms.
And
Good
Master
job.
Chief will kill you with dignity.
He's gonna put you on the back
All right.
little rounds.
It's great for a worm.
Thank you, Steve
Thank you,
the Hunter.
Steve.
We appreciate you.
It doesn't sound like
I would still
was a
love
good
you, Steve,
achievement,
if you
but
were a
know what?
worm.
You achieved a lot in
It
life.
was.
Better than most.
It was. Exactly.
You
That's
lived
what
well
happened.
for a worm.
That's what happened to the bear. The bear wasn't a bear. It was
No.
worms.
First, Steve was infected with parasitic worms, and now Steve just is a worm. I mean, I've seen the Futurama episode. The worms can really help. Is all I'm saying. So,
when you're a Goa'uld, from Stargate, there's a question: are you the person or are you the worm? And Steve, you might be the worm.
in general, the Goa'uld, you're once they take you over. But anyway, thank you, Steve. If anyone wants to send us an email, the address is dgmj@mail.com. If you want to leave us a 5-star review on the platform of your choice, do that. Send us a screenshot of it, and Mike will award you an achievement. And I just realized, you could leave one on multiple platforms and send a different one in a different time, and you could get a different achievement. It's not like you can only have one
get
achievement.
multiple achievements. It's you can do as many as you want, and sometimes there'll be something nice, and sometimes I will just hand you a cone full of worms. So but the point is that you won, and at the end of the day, isn't that what it's about?
Life is like a box of parasitic worms. You never know what you're gonna get. You got those.
You know exactly what you're getting.
You got those imaginary gamer score points, and got that little dopamine boost from the points that are imaginary and don't matter. And that's what really matters. That's the entire the culture of video games.
Yeah.
Since
The legendary
Xbox.
achievement is listening to this entire podcast without ever reading the book. You know, so there you go. That's legendary
And wondering
difficulty.
what
It's like
what's happening.
you don't know what the fuck is happening ever.
That's lasso. All the skulls.
That's like reading a book with a bunch of jackal snipers on buildings. You know, are these Halo references doing it for you, fuckers?
I certainly hope so.
This gets their dicks hard.
That's a lot of what's in the bag is that we've got is Halo reference for some reason. Yeah,
And endless Star Trek discussions.
I'm better at those, honestly. The Halo lore has gotten beyond me in many ways. I don't think I've played one since Halo 4, so
It's okay. It got beyond the makers of it too.
yeah, true. But thank you everybody for listening. Remember, 3 chapters for next time. So if you're following along, chapters 12, 13, and 14 are the ones to read, as those are the ones that we will be reading. And
can I get excused? My dog ate my book and my microphone.
Not the microphone.
One of us.
I'm
One
talking
of
to you
us.
on a soup
Google
can.
gobble. Google gobble.
It sounds really good for a soup can, actually.
I know.
I will leave you all with our Mordecai wisdom for the week.
Their arms are made of worms. Don't let them hug you.
That's a better one. You're
Fair.
right. Yeah. Don't.
I like
Just
that.
don't let bears hug you in general. I feel like is
Yeah,
good
that's
advice.
probably not a great idea. Yeah.
Or worms.
Although they bear or worms. They say bear are good though. So I don't know. I have been Data.
They're not, I promise.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Mark. If we have a listener named Mark, he's gonna be really fucking fucked up about that. So you're like funny part-time.
Part-time. Because he gives it
Part-time.
so he gives
Yeah,
it so
'cause the one-
weak.
Yeah,
Yeah, the one in the
take they
trailer is a
used
better
in-
delivery.
Yeah, the one they used in the movie was part-time.
Which Indiana Jones movie is this?
Crystal Skull.
Oh, that would be why. I was just like, I don't
Yep.
remember this, but
It's a bad
I've only
movie.
seen that a couple times. So yeah.
It's a better movie on rewatch now, but it is still not a good movie.
Yeah, I disagree.
Of
I think
course.
it's still just a bad movie.
Of course, I still think that Doom is a bad movie. So
Temple of
Have not
Doom?
seen that. Oh, Temple of Doom. I thought you said
Yeah.
Dune, like the new Dune movie.
no.
I haven't seen that.
I think Temple of Doom is actually a legitimately bad movie.
It is my least favorite of the original 3 for sure, and I can see in many ways how a person could call that bad. Especially just like the extreme racism all over the place.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
All over the fucking place, and sexism.
and sexism. Yeah.
I think the level.
You did. I remember, like, because that was why I even brought it,
was
up.
not
because,
good.
Yeah, I brought it up because of that. Because Crystal Skull, while being very bad, is at least a better Indiana Jones film than Doom. Because
If you
Doom
took out
felt
Shia
like-
LaBeouf, maybe I would agree with that, but he bugs the crap out of me in that movie.
Yeah, but the fucking what's her name in Doom? She takes me completely out of the movie anytime she's on screen.
Kate Capshaw. I forget what she was
Is
playing.
Spielberg's wife or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
She
Kate
plays
Capshaw
Billy.
play?
It's like a boy's name.
Yeah, Billy. But it's a movie where there will be an extremely great set piece. Like the set pieces in
Willie.
Doom.
It's Willie
Willie.
Scott.
Willie Scott, yeah. The set pieces in Doom, fantastic, great all around. Like they're probably some of the better set pieces in the original 3 movies. If they were in a better movie, they would probably be regarded as the better set pieces. But it's the stuff in between, all of the interstitial connective tissue stuff in the movie is just so laughably, horribly dated by today, even by then standards, it was, because they were trying to harken back to like 30s and 40s, like serials and adventure, into the primitive lands, like kind of thing. And then, you got the waif woman who's like screaming and is a damsel in distress and everything. Like they tried to like lean more into the genre that they were kind of aping with the first movie, and it was just a miss. For me, it's just like the whole movie is a fucking miss.
That's why they had to bring Nazis back for the third one, because
Nazis are just his fucking enemies. Like
no
they're
one
just
gets mad when you kill Nazis or
No.
you're unkind to them in some way. Yeah, it's fine.
They always bring Nazis back after they fail a movie.
I still haven't
Mhm.
seen Dial of Destiny, so
You're not missing much.
You're
That's
not
also
missing
not a
mu-
good one.
That's the weird thing. The weird thing, and I know a lot of people would disagree with me. The opening with the de-aging Indy, I'll take that version of Indy over the "I just want to die" Indy that's in the rest of the movie.
See, I'm other people. I'm the one that's disagreeing with you. Because I don't even like that bit. I thought that was overlong and bad and
Okay,
depressing.
this one bit though you will agree with me on. The part where they're de-aging him to what age he was during Crystal Skull is probably the most indie that he is the whole movie though.
For Data and the people at home who who have not seen, there's actually a lot of different time periods that they de-age Harrison Ford
Oh.
in that movie. It's not just back to the 40s. Yeah, some of the older Harrison Ford de-aging looks much better than the younger, which would make sense when you're
I mean, yeah,
taking an
it's reasonable.
80-year-old
Yeah.
man, making him look 70 or 60 or 50. It's going to look better than he's 25
Yeah, which
and walking like an 80-year-old man, because that was also a mistake. It's actually Harrison on set.
yeah, but when they de-aged him just 15 years for that little bit when she was a kid and it's her flashback, not
It looks good.
his.
That
It
looks fine.
it looks really good.
It looks how we now view most celebrities anyway, because they have so much, fillers in, and all of the fucking the apps have filters on them. So yeah, he just
Yeah.
looked like, oh yeah, he looks really good. It's not human, but he looks good.
Oh,
Okay, let's do the
I know.
thing.
I know.
I'm,
All right,
like,
back from the music.
yeah,
You
I
can
was
cut
like,
all that out. You can put. Look, there's probably going to be a. This is all the shit we cut out because we're stupid, kind of
cut
thing.
nothing.
You'll make a show that's all of the cut
We
bits.
cut nothing.